this is Jamie Magritte. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. It's a Z-fold kind of card. So let's get started. I'm going to be using Magenta Madness, Rich Razzleberry, Mango Melody, and Pear Pizzaz ink. It's using the new flowering tulips that's going to be available starting on January 4th in the new mini catalog. I'm going to be using this, and then the sentiment. I'm bringing in some embossing folders so that I can emboss those layers, the ornate floral, and I forgot the label for this one. Greenery embossing folder. This one comes with two. I'm just using this one. I'm going to be using a couple of dies. From the Nature's Thoughts dies, I'm using this one, and this label here from the Tasteful labels. I'm going to use a couple of these brushed brass butterflies that are available with this suite. I have a scrap of white. I have a scrap of crumb cake. I have a 2.5 by 3 inch piece of Magenta Madness, 1 1/2 by 3.5 inch piece of Rich Razzleberry. This is cut out of white. That's that Nature's Thoughts die. Can you see the stitching there? I don't know if you can. There you go. 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of crumb cake for the inside. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of white, and this is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. I've scored it at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and fold it, and then fold it back on itself again. And then this is important that you're going to need to use your bone folder or popsicle stick or something to burnish these down really well, because you'll notice it wants to pop up. And burnish them really well to get started, and that helps a little bit. Okay. So let's get started. Let's put these pieces aside. And let's do our stamping. This one. Oh, this was my scratch paper that I would cut this out of. I would have cut this out of. That's what that's for. Okay. Alright, so we need this piece here. We need our spinner. And we need this one for the sentiment. Okay. Let's start with the sentiment. And Rich Razzleberry. Ink that up. I'll go ahead and stamp it here. Okay, then I'm going to bring in Pear Pizzaz. And the leaf. I don't think there's a right or wrong way with this leaf, but I did it this way. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp it here. I'm going to bring this Tasteful label die. I'm going to center that up and run it through my die cut machine. Put that aside for a minute. Alright, now I'm going to do the rest of the pieces. Oh, I put them over here. Okay, Nature's Thoughts. There's two pieces, there's actually three pieces to the flower. One of them's a little more detailed than the other. You can do it either way you want. Use whatever colors you want. I'll show you. I played with a bunch of different colors, but I ended up liking the rich razzleberry and the, well, ink on my hand, and the Magenta Madness. So I'm going to use this one with the Magenta Madness up here towards the top. A little bit towards the left, but not a lot towards the left. Kind of centered on the top section there. Ooh, that didn't stamp very well, but... And then this one here. Gonna line that up. There's one section here with three little lines, and there's spaces. You can see where those spaces line up. It looks really dark, but it dries back. Okay, then we're going to go in with the green with the stem. We're going to stamp it here. We're going to take our leaf. We're going to stamp one leaf up here. And then we're going to re-ink, and we're going to go lower. And on the other side, stamp one leaf there. Okay, then we're going to come in with the Mango Melody. And this little centerpiece, we're going to do the center of the flower. And I stamped it once, and then without re-inking, I moved it and stamped a little bit more just to make it a little fuller. Okay, so that's that piece. Then on this one, let's bring in a scrap paper. So I'm going to stamp off. I'm going to do that flower in the bottom. That's the dark one. This is the light one. Okay, so I stamped it there. This one's a little bit harder to line up because it's a dark color, but it doesn't have to line up exactly anyway. Okay, then the center. Okay, I'm done with all these pinks. Them closed up before my cat decides to run through again. Get the leaf. One leaf here. There's the stem. that's all the stamping. These out of the way. Alright, now I'm going to take these two pieces, run one through one embossing folder and one through the other, and die cut my sentiment, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've got that one. This is the Magenta Madness piece, which is 2.5 by 3. And then I got this one, which is 1.5 by 3.5. And then this is cut out of that. Okay, so let's assemble this card. I'm going to bring in the 4.25 by 5.5 inch piece. This piece is for the inside, so let's go ahead and put that on the inside now. Almost put it on upside down. It's a 1/4 inch smaller than that space, so there's going to be 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Okay, that can get set aside. I'm going to bring in this piece. It's going to go at a little bit of an angle. And these pieces are going to go underneath it. So first thing we're going to do is get these pieces on. And I've got it so that this bottom corner are just about to those edges. Let's take this out of the way so you can actually see. Like that. The same with this one. Like that. And this one's going to go on top of it, so we're dry fitting it. And then this one, we'll get dimensionals under it, but we want to line it up with the existing stamp here. So we want to turn this so that it can line up and that the words can still be straight. We want the words to be straight so it's readable. So I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this piece. We're going to do that first. So I got 4 dimensionals on the back there. Line this up so that it matches. Stick that part down. We don't want to stick this corner down yet. Okay, so now let's put these pieces on. Like that. That. Okay, now we're going to bring this piece in. We'll put glue all over the back of it. We're going to figure out where we want it. Set it down. Making sure that sentiment is straight. Stick that down. Now we're going to bring in our card. We're only going to put glue on this piece. And line up those corners. Set it down. There we go. Now I'm going to bring in those butterflies. I'm going to put one large one up here. And a small one up there next to it. One small one over here. Going the other way. Well, that works. There we go. There's our completed card. The one we just did together. You'll see the angles just a little bit different. Depends on where you stamp your leaf and your flower. And here's the one I did previous. This one has the embossing on the panels. This one is plain. Which one do you like better? Well, thank you so much for joining me today at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.